Let's look at some awesome stuff from NAMM 2026. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Guitar Gear Trader channel. I am Steve, coming at you as always from Nashville, Tennessee. Today's going to be a quick episode, and before we get into it, please do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, share this video out with your friends and family, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Guitar Gear Trader. So today, I'm going to walk you through my top 5 NAMM 2026 items that I am most excited about. I didn't go to NAMM, but and that's why this video is a little late. I had to watch all the videos from all my favorite YouTubers in order to find out about all the cool new stuff that was shown at NAMM 2026. If you don't know what NAMM is, I'm sure it stands for like North American Music something. It's basically like a Comic-Con type of thing for musicians, in a sense where all the big businesses come out to Anaheim, California, in like a big expo center, and they show all their stuff, their new stuff for the new year, off to companies and stores that are going to buy their products and sell their products, resellers, things like that. So it's basically a showcase, like a home show, but for guitars. So the gear that I'm actually going to show you is gear that I'm interested in really playing, really using in live situations. These are not just things to talk about or things like that. These are 5 things that really caught my eye. They're not just hype reveals. They're things with real tone. They're things with thoughtful designs. They're creative, and they caught my eye. And let's dive into it. Starting at number 5, we have from TV Jones, the TV Jones Powertron Ultra pickups. This was one that was a pretty big surprise for me at the show. I'm a big fan of Gretsch guitars, and Gretsch guitars are known for having TV Jones pickups in them. According to Premier Guitar, this is the TV Jones most boldest and most powerful pickup to date, and it's going to introduce a new take on a classic Powertron pickup. What takes the Powertron Ultra to its what makes the Powertron Ultra special is that it has mismatched coil designs. One coil is thicker and heavier, and the other is a standard size coil. And this mismatch gives it a wider harmonic spectrum, making it basically able to be blended with thickness and presence in a way that you don't normally get from TV Jones pickups. This design isn't just for tone in isolation. TV Jones also built it with a coil splitting capability so that you can dial in clarity underneath your high gain while still retaining the aggressive Powertron style punch when you want it. That versatility is very big for players who want to shift from clean to articulate to really gritty and powerful without having to kind of swap gear and go from like a Les Paul style guitar to a Strat style guitar. So if you're into pickup tone that reacts to your fingers and gives you both clarity and punch, this Powertron Ultra could completely shift the way your guitar sounds, especially through tube amps and higher gain rigs. Number 4. Number 4 was is a pedal, and it's the DSM Humboldt Dumblifier Overdrive Special. This pedal is designed to emulate the real high responsive, touch sensitive feel of classic Dumble gear. And it's not just about EQ curves. This pedal combines overdrive section with authentic ODS style controls, including a jazz rock EQ switch, a mid boost switch, a bright switch, and even a preamp boost, giving you a dynamic range from barely broken up to very rich overdrives. It includes a stereo effects loop, stereo cab simulation, power amp dynamic, compression, and speaker size options. Stuff you normally only find in like multi-module rigs or even like computer programs. It's not just another overdrive pedal. It's an attempt to capture the feel of real tube dynamics in a stomp box. And that's exactly what players chase when they talk about Dumble style responsiveness. Now, I own an Ampliphonics and Gain from Amplified Nation, which is like a Dumble clone. And I'm really interested to see how this pedal through another amp, I'm probably going to put it through my Vox AC30 just to see how close I can get it to my Amplified Nation. Number 3. The next 3 things, so 3, 2, and 1, are all going to be amplifiers. Amplifiers and guitars are my 2 favorite things. I'm not much of a pedal person, but that pedal did kind of pique my interests. But the last 3 are all guitar amps. This amp in particular I find pretty interesting because I love the player, and it is the Friedman PX20. So third on the list is the Friedman PX20. It's the all-new 20-watt collaboration with Phil X, and this is the new 20-watt collaboration with Phil X, and it is more than just a small Friedman amplifier. This amp delivers 3 distinct gain stages, a Fender-esque clean with some Dumble-style dynamics, a crunchy rhythm section that can be dialed from vintage to hot-rodded tones, and a boost section that gives you real control over both volume and gain. What's cool about this amp is that the boost isn't just a master volume bump. You can add gain depth or volume independently, which is something you usually only see in stacked rigs. So for a 20-watt head, it's surprisingly versatile, perfect for studio tracking, smaller gigs, or just getting that Friedman punch without hauling a 50-watt beast around. So I have the JJ20, which is the Jerry Cantrell version 20-watt amp, and I absolutely love that amp. It gets as loud as you need it to be. And this is kind of like another option from the Phil X 100, which is the 100-watt Friedman amp. I'm pretty sure it's 100 watts. It may be a 50, but it's a much larger amp than this PX20. Something that's not really practical for home use, something you don't necessarily need for recording because you don't need it to get that loud. So this is another good option. And I'm a big Phil X fan. I think he's an amazing player, and I'm really interested in getting my hands on one of these and maybe testing it out. Number 2 also comes from Friedman, and this one is the Friedman VX30. This is Friedman's new take on a classic British style tone. Think a chimey AC30 inspired amp, but with Friedman's attention to detail and voicing. It's a 30-watt tube head with both a top boost channel for that classy or classic jangly shimmer, and the normal channel for clearer tones. The normal channel even has a rotary switch to choose between multiple vintage AC voice styles, giving you tons of tonal flexibility without hopping on pedals. You can even blend channels for an interesting hybrid tone, something you don't see every day in an AC style amp. This is one I'd love to experiment with through different cabs and different pedals, because it has potential to be a great clean / edge of breakup kind of platform and a fun pedal playground to fool around with. I have a Vox AC30 that I really like. It's really super heavy though. That's one big thing, one drawback that I found in it. And it's beautiful clean, but I don't do a lot of clean work. I do a lot of heavy gain stuff, so that's pretty much why I don't use it as much as I should. But I'm really interested to see how dirty a Friedman Vox can be. I don't want to say Friedman Vox, but a Friedman AC style amp, as he would say. And he modeled it off of an old Vox amp that he had, supposedly. The last one that I want to talk about is from one of my favorite companies, right? Friedman's one of my favorite companies too, but my go-to amp for many, many years now has always been an Orange. I've had, right now, my rig is a Rockreverb 50 Mark III, and before that was a TH30, which is a great little head that is not made in England. I think it's made in China, but it's a great Orange amp. And my number one pick is also from Orange, and it is the Orange OR60. Now, I've never played the OR amps before, but those are like the original Orange amps. This one is a 60 watt all tube single channel head built in the UK, powered by a pair of 6L6 power tubes, which gives it serious headroom for those cleans, along with that signature orange harmonically rich focused tone. What really sets this one apart is the simplicity and flexibility that you get from Orange amps. There are not a lot of bells and whistles on Orange amps. It has a foot switchable second volume control that you can instantly jump from rhythm to lead without touching the gain knobs. And it both has a presence and a resonance control that let you shape the high end and low end punch to fit the room that you're in. It also has a bright switch, which is the little light bulb at the end. It adds a lot of tight and bite for articulate cleans or snappy crunch, and valve. It also has a valve buffered FX loop, which keeps. I gotta do that over. It also has a bright switch that adds top end bite for articulate cleans or really snappy kind of crunch sounds, and a valve buffered effects loop keeps modulation and time-based pedals sounding great. I love putting my delays and my reverbs and my chorus pedals through the effects loop of my Rockreverb. So this feels like a modern Orange amp that honors the brand's heritage while giving you the tools to dial in everything from really pristine cleans. And a lot of people don't think of Orange amps to have really good clean channels, but Orange, you can really get beautiful clean sounds out of an Orange amp. But without all the fancy multi-channel switching that you would get in other types of amps, like some higher end heavy Marshalls or Mesa Boogies or things like that. So that is my top 5 2026 NAMM picks for the year. From amps and pedals to pickups, I think people should take. That sucks. I gotta read this before I do it. So those are my top 5 picks from this year's 2026 NAMM show. Let me know what you think. Let me know if any of these things are something that you would have looked into as well. Let me know if there's something that I overlooked that you saw at NAMM in the videos, or even if you went to NAMM that you would want to get your hands on and try out. Do me also a favor and follow the... man. Well, there you have it, everybody. Those are my top 5 picks from NAMM 2026. So from amps and pedals, and there were a couple other things that I saw that could have made the honorable mention list. There was some like roller volume pedal from I think it was Black Mountain. They make this volume pedal that has like a rolling dial that you can control with your foot. I'm not sure how that would work out. It looks like you need to be sitting down to use it, and I'm afraid, like, what if you slip off of it? But that's neither here nor there. If you have something that you saw at NAMM 2026 that you think was really cool and interesting, there were a couple of guitars that you can like take apart and just switch parts in and out. You can take the necks off and things like that. If there was something that you thought was cool, please let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, tell a friend, follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at Guitar Gear Trader. And until next week, thanks everybody. Have a good one. Peace out.